Well. Looks like we have a date, ladies and gentlemen. Not a date like with you and I. I'm saying Bobby Kotick has a date of when he is out officially at Activision. Let's take a look. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. After 32 years, CEO Bobby Kotick. Is it Kotick or Kotick? I'm from the Midwest. I'm going to say Kotick. Is leaving Activision next week as Microsoft makes more changes to bring the company under the Xbox mothership. Mothership is correct. Xbox is a $1 trillion company, by the way. Made a video on that. In his goodbye note, Kotick calls Microsoft the world's most admired company. Admired, maybe in a business sense, for sure, in the business field. As far as admired in general as a consumer, I think that's questionable. For any big titan of industry company, I would say. They're not perfect. Moving on. After a 32-year career. Wow, that's a long time. 32 years. Bobby Kotick is officially stepping down next week, with his last day at the company being Friday, December 29th. I wonder who's going to be celebrating. You know? I don't think this guy's really liked or cared for at all. Meanwhile, Microsoft announced a series of key leadership changes as it works to bring Activision Blizzard into Xbox's fold. We've known Kotick was departing Activision for a while now, and today he sent an email to employees in which reflected on his origins as a gamer, his time with the company, and the gaming industry more broadly. Well, let's take a look at what Mr. Kotick had said. 40 years later, as my last day leading this company inches closer, I marvel at how far the talented people at our company have come toward realizing the great potential of games. They have transformed a hobbyist form of entertainment into the world's most engaging medium. It has been the privilege of my lifetime to work alongside you as we broaden the appeal of games. Interesting. Well, of course. You have to send off a nice, sweet goodbye. I mean, you're paid for it. Heavily. Kotick also touched on the moment Xbox boss Phil Spencer approached him about the acquisition, saying, "It was immediately obvious that the combination of our businesses would enable us to continue to lead as the list of capable, well-resourced competitors grows." Oh, Microsoft's making that umbrella bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm optimistic that maybe it'll make Activision better. It'll bring passion back into the development of Blizzard's games. It'll allow them to have more time to make more complete games. But only time will tell. Continuing. He also says Spencer shares our values and recognizes our talents. He is passionate about our games and the people who make them. He has a bold ambition. I like Phil Spencer. I think he's pretty legit. Seems like a nice guy. But he is just the face of Xbox, at least. In an internal memo obtained by The Verge, Spencer thanked Kotick for, quote, his invaluable contributions to this industry. His partnership is in closing the Activision Blizzard this is a tongue twister. Closing the Activision Blizzard acquisition and his collaboration following the close. He also detailed a number of changes at the top of Activision Blizzard leadership. Among other changes, Spencer revealed Thomas Tipple, vice chairman. Okay. Doesn't ring a bell. Thomas Tipple. Okay, Thomas. Rob Kotick, president, Activision Publishing, and Mike Barra. I'm imagining this Y is silent. So don't shoot the messenger. I'm sorry. And Jodolf Summerstead, president, King. Wow, geez. Okay. Oh, president of King Gaming. Wow, an interesting name. Report that Matt. But I'm not reading these names. I'm going nuts here. I'm going to lose my mind. Let's just skip this. The leadership teams for Activision. Whew, that went on too long. I'm sorry. Blizzard and King will remain in place with no changes to the structure of how the studios and business units are run. Additionally, a memo from the Microsoft Studios head Matt Booty Booty announced that Jill Braff will be taking over as head of ZeniMax and Bethesda, having joined Xbox in 2021 following roles at Nintendo, Sega, Glue Mobile, Home Shopping Network, and Warner Brothers. Interesting. Jill Braff. She sounds familiar. I am not super familiar. But moving on. Xbox and Activision's 20-month legal odyssey finally came to an end. 20 months. Gosh, were we waiting that long? It only seems like half of that, but all right, 20-month legal odyssey finally came to an end this October when the deal closed. At the time, Spencer said, "Today we start the work to bring beloved Activision, Blizzard, and King franchises to Game Pass and other platforms." Kotick has been at the center of Activision Blizzard's year-long battle against lawsuits and allegations of harassment. Yeah, did I forget to mention his little frat boy culture in which female employees endure regular sexual harassment, experience discrimination? Doesn't surprise me at all. Pay discrepancies. Oh, and retaliation by leadership. Sure, he was accused of overlooking such conditions, but has constantly maintained that the complaints are baseless, insisting earlier that this year there's never been a systemic issue, and blaming complaints on labor movements looking to destabilize the company. Of course, let's just gaslight it. Blame other people instead of taking responsibility. And this is interesting, too. Activision recently reached a $54 million settlement with California's Civil Rights Department, which has now dropped the lawsuit against the company, with another $47 million set aside to address accusations of discrimination in pay and promotion opportunities. This does not surprise me one bit. The company has also previously paid out tens of millions of dollars in fines and settlements to groups like the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and the Securities and Exchange Commissions. Boy, does that not tell you something if you think about it just a little bit. But hey, what do you guys think? I feel like when one CEO goes, another one just as worse is going to replace him. It's like a power vacuum, right? Take over a country, get rid of the dictator, power vacuum, new dictators come through just as bad, or if not as bad, or worse than the original one, right? I honestly don't know how I feel about even the whole merging of Activision, Blizzard into the Microsoft sphere, right? Because Microsoft is a titan of industry. Okay, they are a $1 trillion company. The world runs on their software. It's quite insane. And now that they're merging here with one of the biggest gaming companies of the world, when does the monopoly kick in, right? That's the question. When does this turn into a monopoly? Listen, only time will tell. Let's see what happens. Let's give it a year. Let's see what happens to management, how they treat gamers. But what do you guys think? Are you ready for a new leader at Activision? Are you going to be looking at supporting more of their games in the future? Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Let me know down in the comments. I appreciate you guys very much. That's some news. I'll talk to you later.